Welcome, everybody, to a very special episode of Spotlight 814. We are joined today by the star of the national tour of Annie. She is playing Annie, and her name is Rainey Treviño. Rainey, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Yeah, of course. So Rainey's joining us from Boston today, and she's going to be here in Erie at the historic Warner Theater on February. What month are we in? February 14th and 15th. That is Valentine's Day and the day after. Valentine's Day. and a less important day after. So, Rainey, how are you today?
Great. How are you guys?
Great. Awesome.
I'm doing excellent. Do you have a show tomorrow night, or do you already have one in Boston?
We've had 2 shows already. We got a show today, tomorrow, and today's Thursday, right? Yeah, today's Thursday. We have Friday, 2 shows on Saturday, and 2 shows on Sunday. And then we leave for, I think, Scranton? I don't know, somewhere.
That is so many shows.
I know, it's a lot. They really pack it in there in Boston.
Yeah.
8 shows a week.
Yeah. So where are you from, Rainey?
I myself am from Chesapeake, Virginia.
Okay, nice.
Cool.
I see in your bio you mentioned the Hurrah Players in Norfolk.
So they are a family theater company directed by Hugh Copeland, and they do classes, they do shows. My first show there was Moana. Sadly, it got postponed because of COVID and the pandemic. The day we were supposed to open was also the day that the city was shut down. So we ended up doing the show in 2021 after the pandemic had reopened up the city. And that was my first and biggest show at the time. I was in the ensemble, and it was a great show. But yeah, the Hurrah Players is based in Norfolk, and it basically taught me everything I know.
That's awesome.
How did you go from there to being international tour? Like, what was that journey like?
So slowly, I got bigger roles at the Hurrah Players, and then a call opened up for the Virginia Opera Sound of Music, very close in the area. So I auditioned for that, and I got the role of Marta, and my sister got the role of Gretel, and that was both of our first paid gigs and biggest jobs that we had when I was 9 and she was 6, I think. Yeah, that's kind of where my career outside of the Hurrah Players started. My next production that I was in with a paid production was School of Rock with Virginia Musical Theater. I was Summer Hathaway in that, and
nice. Perfect.
I got nominated for Best Supporting Actress in a Musical on Broadway World for Virginia. And then after School of Rock, I did, what did I do after School of Rock? I went back to Hurrah and did Lion King, I think. No, Lion King was before School of Rock. But I went back to Hurrah, did a couple more shows, and I had a manager at the time, and then I got the call for this tour. I got the call to do a self-tape. So I did the self-tape, I sang a few songs, I did a few scenes, and I did a dance. Then I got called to do the in-person audition in New York. I did the same dances, same songs, same scenes, and then we had the final callback in person a few days later. And then a couple weeks after, we got the call, and I was crying, I was screaming, I was telling all my friends. It was an awesome experience. But yeah, everything has brought me up to this point, though.
That's incredible.
That's so great.
I love the quote in your bio. It says, "Humbly honored to bring this spunky icon of optimism and resilience to life."
Yeah.
So, like that is Annie, and tell us a little bit about the role and like how you've enjoyed playing it, and like what's your favorite song and stuff like that,
So Annie is very optimistic. As she says, the sun will come out tomorrow. She believes that every cloud has a silver lining. No bad thing lasts too long. She looks to the future in a good way. She's kind to others. She's thoughtful, and she's street smart. She's in one of her first scenes, she basically scams a street vendor for an apple, and that goes to show that she does what she does to survive. And in the orphanage too, Hannigan is an awful person who doesn't treat the orphans fairly, and so they're basically living off of each other pretty much. But yeah, that goes to show that Annie is kind and thoughtful while also being protective of Molly in the first scene. It's been awesome to bring the character that so many people grew up with to the stage. I find a lot of my characteristics in her. I try my best to be optimistic. I try to be kind. But yeah, she's a great person. And my favorite song in the show is definitely NYC. It's the number itself. The song is catchy, but the choreography, our choreographer, she specifically wanted each little segment of choreography to be a love note to New York. It's like a postcard pretty much. It's also got really colorful light cues, and it's definitely my favorite number in the show.
Awesome.
That's so cool, because that's not a number you hear about a lot when you hear Annie, right? It's always like the song will come out tomorrow or Hard Knock Life, but you never really hear
Hard Knock Life and Tomorrow are like the most iconic songs of the show, and that usually overshadows some of the other smaller yet definitely underrated songs like Easy Street. I mean, I knew Easy Street before the show, but I had no idea what NYC was, because in the movie it's instead it's Let's Go to the Movies.
Right.
But definitely a lot of the songs in the musical are very underrated. Like Orphan for Long, You Won't Be an Orphan for Long, Anything But You, and New Deal for Christmas, which are all, like, those 4 songs are the songs that never come to mind when anyone thinks of Annie. They all think Tomorrow or Hard Knock Life. But really the story is her fighting through and leading up to getting adopted by a millionaire. It's not just about her in a red dress with a dog. Those other songs definitely contribute to the story, and they're very overlooked.
I wish a millionaire would adopt me. Am I too old?
Not yet. You still have time. There's
Still time. Awesome.
So Rainey, how about, like, what are some of the biggest challenges for you being on the road and being at a national tour?
So definitely the biggest challenge is me missing my family and friends from home. So that and school.
Yeah.
School, homeschooling. I mean, homeschooling makes it easy, but sometimes you have to do school on the bus and when we're traveling, and it's not fun. Because sometimes some of us get car sick, some of us want to sleep. But yeah, we make it manage. And also, Tomorrow is usually a very hard song, but thankfully with a lot of practice we're on our 100 and something show now, and so I think my voice is adapted to doing those big last notes after lots of practice and stamina building. Before this tour I could have never imagined myself singing that, but now it's basically a piece of cake. So those were the hardest challenges to overcome.
That's awesome.
I'm
That's
sure
awesome.
all of you, like, are you girls, like all the orphans, you're pretty much different ages, right? So you are like taking different classes.
Our oldest girl is 12 and our youngest girl is only 10. And you'd be surprised on who it is. Pepper, who's supposed to be older than Annie, she's only 10.
Okay.
And our oldest is our July, Savannah. She's 12, and her birthday was like a month ago. So it was in December, right? No, it was in January. Her birthday was in January, so she's the oldest out of all of us. But yeah, we're nearly on the same level. Most of the girls 4 of the girls are in 6th grade, and 3 of the girls are in 5th grade. Mm-hmm. 4 of the girls are in 6th grade. I'm sorry, I don't even know what I'm saying.
No problem.
4 of the girls are in 6th grade, and 3 of the girls are in 5th grade. We're all doing a lot of different programs. I'm doing a program called Oak Meadows. A lot of the girls are doing Acellus. So a lot of us are in the same grade, but we're all learning different things at the same time. Some of us line up a little bit, but most of the times we're all over the place. Like, I'm learning something in ancient history. One of the girls is learning, I don't know, some sort of math thing. But yeah, we're all over the place.
You can't even study together. You're kind of like all on your own there.
Yeah.
So do you have a best friend on tour?
I wouldn't say I have a best friend. I'm kind of best friends with all the girls.
That's good.
I feel if you took one away from the group, it wouldn't be the same. So we kind of all feed off of each other's energy. We're all really weird. We're all theater kids, which is great. I feel like they're probably some of my best friends, because this tour has been great because I'm surrounded by girls my age who like the same things as me. So I'm pretty much best friends with all of them.
Great.
I know. I imagine that there's always shows where there's just like one little kid, and tour like that, you're a bunch of all these adults and stuff like that. So it's so nice to have a group of people you can connect with.
Yeah, and back in Hurrah, we were all different ages. Like, there would be, I don't know, a 6-year-old in the show, and then there'd be someone who's like, I don't know, 18. And of course there would be kids like around my age, and I had a lot of friends back in Hurrah that were my age. But now that I'm in a group of girls all my age, it's just awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any member of your family that's touring with you, or like is your mom touring with you, or how does that work?
My mom is touring with me. It's
Okay.
my mom, yeah. My mom
Okay.
tours with me. My dad switched off back in January. He stuck around for a week, and then my mom came back to go back to the touring life. We started in September, and she's been my touring buddy ever since.
That's awesome. Hi, Mom. uh,
I'm curious, Rainey, do you have a dream role
oh,
that you
yeah.
definitely love to play?
Oh man, I haven't thought of this in forever. I feel like Annie has definitely been one of my fulfilled dream roles. So that kind of took me off thinking of my dream roles. So for a while, I wanted to be Lydia Dietz in Beetlejuice, and that is still a great
Yes.
dream role. But
I
I
want
think
to
I'm a
be
little too young to play.
Beetlejuice.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
A few more years, maybe, that I can play
Yeah.
Lydia. I love Elizabeth Theater currently. Beetlejuice is touring now, right?
It
Is
is.
she Lydia? She Lydia in the tour?
No.
Elizabeth Theater?
No.
No.
I can't remember her name.
I don't know. But I went to go see her back in April, and she was phenomenal. She was awesome. Everyone in that cast was awesome. But yeah, Lydia is definitely one of my dream roles.
Yeah, we saw that in Pittsburgh last year, and we loved it.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Aw.
So that's awesome. Is there anything else like about the show and about the tour and the cast that you would like to share?
Oh.
Or
Everyone's always asking me about the dogs.
the dogs?
so
Yes. How did I forget about the dogs?
So my little Seamus, who is the main Sandy right now, he's a very good boy. So he's been in a couple movies. He worked on Finch with Tom Hanks.
Okay.
He was the dog in that. And he is just a sweet little dude. Some sort of terrier. And he's got these little ears. And one just like flops over. And it's the cutest thing ever. He's also a rescue.
Nice.
Oh, that's great.
Huh? All the dogs are. All the dogs that we worked with on this tour have been rescues.
Yeah.
And they were all the sweetest.
So you currently
Yeah,
have one dog, and it's Seamus?
We have two dogs, actually.
Two dogs.
One is currently training to be the understudy, and Seamus is our main Sandy, who I go on with every night.
Okay. Brenna, anything else?
Is this the only show that has a live dog in it? I can't think of anything on the
There's a couple more. Only one that's currently on tour, and I think just like in general right now. Yeah. Then there's a couple.
Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde has a couple dogs.
Yeah, Bruiser.
Wizard of Oz has Wizard of Oz, Oliver, but nothing that's currently on right now.
Okay.
It's touring, or I don't think just in
The
general.
Wiz might have one.
The Wiz might have a dog.
Ah, right,
But-
right.
Maybe.
That'll be
But yeah.
opening later this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's gonna be on Broadway.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Only show that's currently touring with the dog right now. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So I do have one more question. What advice do you have for other kids who might want to do what you're doing and tour?
Practice. No matter whatever you set your mind to, you can achieve it. I had always dreamed of being a performer ever since I was little. So I worked up towards it, and here I am. So anything that you set your mind to, you can do. Practice makes perfect. Be yourself. Yeah, most importantly, be yourself. Don't try to be anyone else. A lot of the times in the audition, you may not be what you're looking for, but you might be exactly what you're looking for another role. So yeah, be yourself. I had one. I said.
It's all good
That's great
advice.
advice already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, be yourself. Vocal warm-ups definitely help. They may be really weird, but even like greats like Taylor Swift and like Billie Eilish warm up with really weird warm-ups too. But yeah, and whatever you do, you can achieve. Whatever you want to do, you can achieve.
Oh, and you might get 100.
Oh, and you might get 100 no's before you get a yes.
Exactly.
So
yes.
don't let the casting directors like put you off. Don't make them make you want to stop doing what you're doing. They might say no to a lot of things.
Yeah.
But there will be one gig out there that is just perfect for you.
Exactly.
Love it. That's such
Great
good
advice.
That kind of brings up a question. Who do you have any musical inspiration? You mentioned like Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish. Are those like who you like to listen to, or?
Well, hilariously enough, all the girls on this tour love Taylor Swift. And I hadn't, I mean, I knew who Taylor Swift was before this tour, but I think it was the girls who made me become a Swiftie, as they call it. So A lot of times during school, I listen to music. I mean, most of my playlist is like show tunes and musicals and stuff. But on occasion, there will be a few Taylor Swift songs slipped into there. But yes,
Yeah.
Taylor Swift is a great inspiration for me. She's fierce. She never gave up. She started really young, so I'm really young too.
Yeah.
Her a lot. Everyone in the acting industry I look up to. Everyone is just great.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, we can't wait to see you here in Erie with the Annie National Tour. We're going to see you. We will be there on a date on
Aw.
Valentine's Day. So we can't wait.
Yay! Thank you guys so much.
Perfect way to spend Valentine's Day, honestly.
Yeah.
Aw.
All right. Well, thank you,
Well,
Rainey.
Yeah, thank you
Thanks
so much
for
for
having
joining us.
Yeah, of
Thank
course.
you.
Of course. And we will see you next week.
See you
Yeah,
next
great. Best of luck in Boston, the rest of those shows.
Yeah.
And
video.
we're so excited.
Thank you. Thank
Awesome.
you
So
so much.